So, as you're probably aware by now, Donald Trump destroyed the Rose Garden and turned it into, quite literally, a replica of the patio area at Mar-a-Lago, right down to the same umbrellas. It really is disgusting. The walkway leading to the Rose Garden, they now have a new series of black and white portraits of every president. Of course, they're in gold frames because gold everything with this asshole. And don't you know they put a black and white portrait of every president right down the way until they got to Joe Biden, and then Donald Trump put a picture of the auto pen in Joe Biden's space. That's what a fucking infant our current president is. Watch this.
President Trump's latest renovation of the White House is underway, but this time it's a new step that takes a dig at his predecessor. Along this colonnade that stretches by the Rose Garden that ultimately leads to the Oval Office, there's a new video that the president's aides posted today of what they have dubbed the Presidential Walk of Fame. There are gold letters above it, and there are these gold frames with each containing a black and white image of all the presidents that came before President Trump. As it stretches down the line, you see Democrats and Republicans alike, from Jimmy Carter to the Bushes to President Obama. But one president's photo stands out in particular. That is President Biden's, because instead of seeing an image of President Biden, they have instead replaced it with the image of an auto pen. Of course, President Trump has been fixated on President Biden's use of the auto pen. He actually even ordered an investigation into it, implying that the things that his name and his signature were attached to were not actually decisions that Biden made himself. Of course, we've heard from President Biden on these accusations from his successor, and President Biden has said anything that has his name on it, decisions on executive orders, pardons, and the like, that was a decision that President Biden says he made himself.
We call it the Rose Garden Club, and it's a club for senators, for congresspeople. When we had a press conference, you'd sink into the mud. And it was grass, and it was very wet.
He has destroyed the Rose Garden, and hopefully, whatever Democratic president comes next, hopefully they put it back the way it was. And yeah, he put a picture of the auto pen in Joe Biden's spot. How people who support this man aren't embarrassed by the things he does is still baffling to me.